Slurpdy diddly do, my G's. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are all doing great. Today we're going to do a nice and quick and easy, simple Serum 2 sound design tutorial, and I'm going to show you how you can make a powerful, fast-moving jungle sub bass with a nice little movement as well. It's going to be quite easy to make, but there's just a few small, subtle details that I like to employ during the sound design in Serum that will make the patch sound slightly more powerful and more audible in the mix as well, and also clean. So here's a little preview of the bass we're going to make along with some funky drummer drums. And on its own, it sounds like this. So it's got this kind of fast wobbling movement, and it's also got a little bit of drive to give it a bit more presence in the actual mix as well. So firstly, let's jump into the sound design in the oscillator section. So the first page in Serum, the oscillator section, is actually really easy for this sound. There's only 3 things that we really need to do. The first thing is to have 2 sine waves detuned from one another. So we've got a sine wave on oscillator A and also on oscillator B, both at -1. And if you look on span where this is sitting, it's that sort of octave up from the sub bass. So this is the sort of harmonic parts of the bass. So sort of in that sort of 70 to 80 hertz area. And I'm playing a note of D, I believe here. Let me quickly check. I believe it's D. Yeah, in D. And the detuning is happening because we've got the fine tuning down all the way on one and all the way up on the other one. And you can test the speed along with your beat when you choose how much detuning you want. So you could have slower. That's up to you, but for this fast rolling jungle kind of power that I wanted, actually at exactly 100 on each, 1 minus 100, 1 plus 100, it sounded great. For that nice fast rolling effect, That's pretty much all we have to do with the character of the jungle power sub. These are the harmonics that are giving its character. Then next, all we're going to do is add a sub bass in underneath. So now we're going to do that sub bass that's an octave lower, which is going to sit around, it's sort of around 37 hertz or so. And the level on this one is going to be slightly higher. So the oscillator A and B are just at the default levels, but the sub bass is going up to 93%, so even higher. So let's put them all back in together. So we have that powerful real sub underneath, and then the harmonics with the movement on an octave higher. And that's pretty much the basis of the sound. And all we're going to do before we go over to the effects is add on one filter here, a notch filter. Everything's turned on, so the sub bass, oscillator and A and B are all going into it. I've driven it up 17%. The cutoff is at 228 hertz, and it's a nice notch filter on 12. And it drives up the bass a lot, and the notch basically changes the character of the sound slightly. It gives a slightly different focus to which part of the low mids are expressed in the sound. So 2 things, driving it up and kind of focusing which frequency areas are more important than others in the low mids. And this is just to add a bit of shape and character to the sound. All right, we're already close to finishing. But next we've got to enhance it all with some effects. So for the effects, we're basically going to apply things in 3 main stages. The first stage is we're going to add a lot of stereo effects to create a great sort of low end stereo warmth to the bass. Then we're going to tidy up that low end with some clever EQing. And then after that, we're going to do a final bit of driving to boost the sound a bit more. So the first three effects we've got here are stereo effects, and we'll start with the chorus. We put this around 23% and just slightly swing this low pass filter to the left a little as well to just focus in on where that chorus effect is happening. And yeah, that is a good balance because we get a bit of stereo harmonics, but it's not gone overboard either, you know. Similar kind of thing with the dimension next. No hyper, just dimension around 16%. Similarly with the chorus, when we go up too high on the mix, we lose actually that wobble. Like it becomes less clear. But with a bit of mix, we get a nice little stereo increase as well, and bit of extra warmth. Then we'll use the convolver. Same kind of idea. Few extra stereo harmonics, just 14%, and these three effects are all quite subtle, but if I switch them off, the whole sound is a lot more mono focused right down the middle. But with these effects back on, it's opened up quite nicely in terms of the stereo field. However, because it's such a low end focused sound, we've stereoed, you know, the whole sub as well, and we don't really want that. We want the sub to be, you know, everything sort of below 80 or 60 hertz to be in mono still. And the great thing about Serum 2 is you can do some mid-side EQing inside the synth. So you've got a splitter mid-side set up here, and under the sides we just put an EQ here. So that is on, and the EQ just on the sides, and we can do a little low cut to take out a little bit of stereo information in the low end around here, right? So if we go up too high, then we've kind of lost the effect of what we've added before. We can listen with the drums to find a balance as well. But yeah, here sort of around 44. It's actually probably going to take out some frequencies a bit higher than that as well, because it's a gentle slope, you know. But that takes out at least a good chunk of low end side information, and you hear that what it does is it gives you loads more power back, because it takes out the unnecessary rumble in the low end, which makes the sound then able to be more powerful. But you have got that added width in the higher part of the sound, in the low mid harmonics, you know. So you found a nice balance in the low end. After that, we've just got a couple of effects to drive the sound a bit more, and there's no change to the stereo image with these, so that's why we could add them on after the mid-side EQ. And this is the notch filter first, and this one again, same kind of idea of what I did before, basically picking a part of the spectrum to take some frequencies out and then just boost everything else a little bit. So the drive up 5%, here the notch is a bit lower, 206 hertz. It makes it all much more focused and a bit more powerful though. And finally, a little bit of distortion on everything, just mixed in gently. Soft saturation. Around 22%. If you listen to it in solo here, I take that off. It kind of distorts the jungle rolling sub a little bit, and when you hear it on its own, it's like not as clean anymore. but in the mix it's got just this extra bit of distortion that helps it stand out amongst the drums. So if you were soloing it, it almost sounds a bit cleaner off, but in the context with everything else going on, it still sounds clean once it's with everything else, but it just feels like you can hear it a lot clearer. So this is a gentle balance, okay? So just be careful you don't over distort it either, but a little bit of push helps it to be heard a bit more, you know? So I quite like that. And that is basically the whole jungle power sub patch wrapped up then. So thank you for watching, my G's. If you like this video, make sure you leave a comment and like the video as well, and let us know what other kind of sounds you're struggling with that you want me to try and emulate for you. Again, thank you to everyone who supports me on the channel. If you guys ever want to join my Patreon as well, highly appreciate that. I have a Discord in there, which is a great place with really kind and supportive people that will help you along your journey as well. Also, you can check out the links in the description for my mastering services. You can send me an email for that. My production lessons as well, and also preset packs for Serum, Phase Plant, Vital, and more available on my website. All right, thank you very much for your attention. Thanks for watching this video. That's it from me today. More from me very, 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 very soon. Much love. Ciao for now.